Wizards Postgame Live.
Monday night basketball in the nation's capital. A rough start for the Wizards basketball week. Back at home taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers for the first of 3 games at home before they head out on a long West Coast road trip. Even with some familiar faces in the house. Final score was 114-91. Washington takes their 3rd loss in a row. Now we here are coming up on Postgame Live with a discussion, an honest one, about what went wrong, what went right, and how do they get this thing back on track as they get ready to face off against the Charlotte Hornets on Wednesday. Wes Hall here with Christy Winter-Scott. Of course, we'll be joined by Chris Drew and Megan here in a moment. But Christy, as I said just moments ago, an honest conversation.
Right.
This one from the beginning was a wire-to-wire win for the Cavs. The Wizards never had a lead tonight. And I think it all got started with the turnover situation early on the game.
Absolutely. The empty turnovers that Washington had in the first half, they just never turned the corner with that. And then the 3-ball wasn't falling. So sometimes that gets frustrating. It feels like, well, we're just not making shots. But they were making shots inside. And they went to that a little bit in the second half, a little bit more. But I think at the end of the day, it was an effort situation. I thought on the glass, when you are getting out-rebounded, and I know Cleveland had some size, and I know Washington is missing 2 of their big 3. I get it.
That's where I was going to go.
But at the same time, there's got to be even more so of an attention to detail on the rebounding and getting a body on somebody. And I just thought there was like a little lack of fire in the belly in that regard. But I think it all trickled into also not taking care of the basketball. I thought some of the turnovers were unforced. I thought they were just passes in the passing lane where they saw the defender right there, and Cleveland went the other way, and they really had their way in the fast break situation. So definitely frustrating tonight. 3 in a row in the loss column for the Wizards, but nothing that can't be fixed with some practice, nothing that can't be fixed with healthy bodies back on the floor. I mean, we haven't seen, I heard Drew say this, we haven't seen the big 3 on the court for more than 3 solid full games this season. And so that's frustrating too, because when they're whole, they're great. And when they have that chemistry going, and we've seen it, right? But now it's the ability to sustain it that's been the issue in the last 3 games, which is why they've come up on the short end.
Oh, that's what you actually bring up the great point, which is the absence of Kyle Kuzma, the absence of Bradley Beal has a real tremendous effect, because when you look at Cleveland scoring, Donovan Mitchell had 21, Darius Garland 23, Jared Allen 23, Evan Mobley had 16. So you see what the top part of a roster being available can do for you, and then adversely you see the absence of those 2 and how it had adverse effects for the Wizards. But you did see something positive. We had a Will Barton sighting tonight. He gave you 15 off the bench. That was obviously something appreciated. Monte Morris gave you 10. Daniel Gafford with 11. Kristaps Porzingis with 18 and 7. Denny Avdija with 12 and 4. Denny, 12 and 4 is a pretty good game for him. But all in all, you talk about the turnovers, whether it's retaining possession, quality possessions with the on ball. How do they have to, how much fixing needs to happen between now and Wednesday? If we're in practice tomorrow, let's move ahead in speculation. But if we're in practice tomorrow, what are we working on to tweak and adjust to correct that by Wednesday?
Mentality. That's the number one thing. The approach, right? Just to understand, I mean, they're pros. They're pros for a reason. They understand the assignment. They know what needs to be done. But the key component is the focus factor, right? You have to be focused and locked into the details, and the little things become big things when you have turnovers like that. They multiply, then you get frustrated. I saw some body language tonight. Just the shots weren't falling, and it's like, oh man, but you have to be able to weather that storm. You have to be able to understand that it's not always going to go in. It's not always going to be a good pass. So what's the next play going to look like? The same thing or something different, because you're locked in and saying, hey, we're not going to do that, right? So the focus for practice is, hey, let's come into this practice like we need to have this be a good practice in terms of our focus and effort and attention to detail.
I appreciate that. Detail it is. Let's bring in Chris and Drew and get their thoughts on it. Gentlemen, good call as always. But again, the question comes down to Washington trying to shake the hangover from those 2 back-to-back losses. And here we are at home facing a different way of losing tonight. Chris and Drew, how do we correct this?
Oh, you starting with me now?
You did this to me earlier. You looked at me first to go first, so I'm going to look at you now for you to go first.
Look, the Cleveland Cavaliers are a whole team, and they're really, really good. They've got, in my opinion, 2 all-stars in the backcourt, and then you've got special bigs, and they space the floor out. And now you've got a guy like Okoro as their 5th starter scoring. They're really good. You give credit where credit is due. But this Wizards team was never in the fight tonight. And it's not an effort thing. It's just the team that they played was just better. This Cleveland Cavaliers team is #1 in defensive rating for a reason. They're now 16-1 when they hold teams under 100 points. The Wizards scored 91 tonight, 19 in the fourth quarter. And I know it kind of got away from them. But you just give credit to J.B. Bickerstaff's squad coming in here taking care of business on the second night of a back-to-back. They beat Indiana last night in the Heartland.
I'm going to say that the Wizards, this has all been mental for them. I think Christie has hit it right on the head. This is about mentality right now. A lot of moving parts going on right now. You lost 2 games up 20-plus points after having a phenomenal 6-game road winning streak. You get a game postponed against Detroit in Detroit. You get 4 days rest before you get to go in and play the Portland Trail Blazers at home. You lose that game. Then you go to Brooklyn. They don't have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, no Ben Simmons.
No T.J. Warren.
T.J. Warren. Seth Curry leaves the game with a hamstring pull or groin issue. And you lose a 25-point lead, and you lose that game. So your mentality coming into this ball game, along with the trade deadline coming up, am I going to be here type of mentality, you're going to get games like this. You kind of lose the game before you show up. And to mention what Chris and to bring up what Chris brought up, when you start naming off these stats and what type of team the Cleveland Cavaliers are, especially on the defensive end, you're going to have these type of games.
Christian?
Listen, when you said about the effort, Chris, now mentality is effort, right? It's not just running up and down, jumping up and down. It's your approach, and that's why, Drew, I was giving you like several snaps because you understood what I meant. When I'm talking about effort, it's not effort like on a box out, like physically. It's effort to know when to get into that body, how to get into that body, how to hold your position inside. So it's a focus issue for me. So it's not necessarily they got out, I don't know, personneled. I just think it was a mental challenge tonight for Washington, and that can be fixed, like going into the next practice with a stronger approach. So it's not a physical situation for me because I've coached and played, so have you guys, and you understand that half the time, it's more than half the time, it's a mental approach that you take and the confidence and belief in what you're doing, and it carries over game after game. So that's what I meant. So I just wanted to clarify that.
With that in mind, guys, we look at the game and some might say, you know, these were quote unquote the old junk minutes phrase, right? But when you're looking at certain lineups that had Anthony Gill in there, you see Will Barton as well, Denny Avdia, and these guys are taking advantage of the last few moments that they have. What did you see out of the quote unquote effort of those guys late down the stretch during, Chris?
I mean, to be honest, everybody was kind of dazed and confused, just in a brain fog. Not having Kyle Kuzma tonight or Brad, you looked for somebody else to step up offensively. You know what's the most demoralizing thing in a basketball game? Having to go back and play defense after you keep missing. You know, that is not fun. You know, you play this game to get buckets. You play this game to put points on the board. That's what the fans come to see. You know, I know fans want to see you play defense, but they want to see some highlight dunks. They want to see some tip dunks. They want to see some crossovers, guys falling down, some exciting basketball, and that happens on the offensive end. And when you don't have Kyle Kuzma and Bradley Beal tonight, other guys got to step up and knock down shots and at least take them. And tonight, playing against a juggernaut defensive team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, who only allowed 31 three-point attempts, which is #1 for their opponents, you have to shoot, and you have a smaller window. You have to take your shot when you can, and more importantly, you got to make it.
That's what it all comes down to. Chris and Drew, thanks you guys so much. We'll see you guys on Wednesday when the Charlotte Hornets come to town. So hopefully the Wizards will be able to jump back in the dub column.
You guys have a good night.
Like you guys enjoy, Chris. I want to bring in Megan McPeak. Megan quickly asked, well, they talked about the three-point shooting tonight. Washington shooting 21% from behind the arc. We talked about it in pregame, hoping that the three ball would fall, but unfortunately not being able to get that done today.
No, and sometimes that's just, you know, unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. The shots aren't necessarily going to fall every single night. And tonight was the night that they don't fall when you need them to fall, especially when you think of the fact, as you all have spoken to already, no Kuz and no Brad. And, you know, when you look at the two of them missing, I think the aspect, aside from them scoring, it's also their facilitating that they bring to the basketball game. And you heard, you know, ahead of the game, Coach Unseld Jr. say that in that Brooklyn game, before he went down with the ankle injury, Kuz facilitated on 18 points. in that Brooklyn game in 11 minutes. That shows you how impactful he is. So although his scoring might not have been there right off the bat in that game, he was facilitating. And I think that's another aspect, not having them in the lineup, that you lose. But you've got to put that aside and forget about it. You cannot deal with the fact that you don't have them. You have to just accept it going into the game, and you have to do what Chris said. You have to play with the effort for 48 minutes. And we saw that from a Brooklyn Nets team the other night. You did not have your big three, and we saw the effort that Christie was illustrating perfectly that night, and it just wasn't there tonight, unfortunately.
Go ahead, Kristen.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, Megan, you get it. You understand when you have people missing, everyone else has to pick up their game, and that sounds like very cliche. And sometimes it's difficult because chemistry. You saw a couple times the zig and the zag situations where the ball just got turned over on flat passes across passing lanes. So that doesn't typically happen. And I get it. There are different people on the floor with you at any given moment. So you just have to be, that more focused, right? That much more focused on who's out there with you, who can come and meet this pass. All the little things have to be amped up. All the little things are magnified when you're down a couple of players. And they've been,
hey, look,
it's been
Glenn
frustrating.
Consor says it all the time. KYP, know your personnel, right?
Exactly. But it's not just
Exactly.
defensively.
No, it's all,
It's your
everybody's
teammates,
responsible for that.
too.
If you're on the court, you got to know who's out there and what they can do and how
Not-
to utilize it. Go ahead,
Not
Megan.
even just on the court. If you're on the bench, you have to KYP, because Will Barton's a perfect example. You could get called at a moment's notice. And one thing I will note, Wes and Christie, keep in mind, Jordan Goodwin is on a 2A contract. He is getting very close to his threshold of games that he can play in when it comes to the NBA. That plays a role when you think of the fact you don't know how long you're going to be without Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma. So they have to be very judicious with bringing Jordan Goodwin into these games and making him active, because once he hits that threshold, he can't play with the NBA team anymore unless they convert his contract.
And that's something
Very
that we will
interesting.
definitely keep our finger on as we move forward. Again, that update, of course, coming to you at NBCSportsWashington.com. But, Megan, another person I want to talk about is the third or the last of the three that was available tonight. That's Kristaps Porzingis. Now, mind you, 18 points. But, again, like the rest of the team, struggled from behind the arc. I think he was 1 for 3 from deep. What do we make of how he plays when those two aren't there? Or not necessarily how he plays, but the effect of his game in the absence of Kuz and Brad?
It's interesting because you look at that Brooklyn game, and Coach Unseld said when Brooklyn went small, it became tough on Porzingis. And that makes sense because when he has a big on him, typically he has a size advantage, being 7'3". So he can figure out his spots. He can figure out where his advantages are. He can rise up. He has the high release point. But now you meet him with two guys who are basically his size, who are shot blockers and defenders, who have the long length and the outreach that they can give him a step and respect the fact that KP can put it on the floor, but they can still contest the shot because they've got the long wingspan. And I think that frustrated him in the sense of you now don't have the outlet in a Kuz and a Brad that you would normally have. And you don't also have the outlet in guys of the others outside of, the other two of the big three that were knocking down shots consistently. I thought when they attacked the paint tonight and when they tried to get to the rim, good things happened. It was either getting to the free throw line or they were getting a bucket. And Drew said it as well too on the broadcast. Your advantage is in transition. Get the ball off the glass and move it. And I thought if they could have done that a little quicker and made that adjustment a little earlier in the game rather than continuing to settle for the threes that weren't falling, I thought they would have put themselves in a better position.
Of course, well, again, to your point, the matching up with the height of Cleveland, when we made the adjustment to put Gaff and KP on the floor, the first team that teams mentioned that, hey, we've seen somebody do that. Who was that? Cleveland. It's unfortunate that we weren't able to see our full strength matching their full strength tonight. But when we're all said and done, there are no excuses, and we're going to hear direct answer from head coach Wes Unseld Jr. on the other side when we return to Wizards Postgame Live back in 90 seconds. Welcome back to Wizards Postgame Live. Earlier tonight, what do you do when you have a bit of an NHL All-Star break? Well, you bring the family to come check out the Wizards. That's Capital's own TJ Oshie with his wife and daughter. I'm glad she's rocking the jersey. But hey, Wes Unseld Jr. at the postgame podium as promised right now.
I think obviously their defense is really good defensive team. We missed a lot of shots, that I really thought were good looks, and it's tough to keep pace at times when you don't make shots, especially generate open shots, open threes, in particular, and we just didn't knock them down. So I didn't mind the process. I thought in the first half we generated some good ones. 1 for 14 is tough, but you got to stay with it. You're not always going to make the open looks, and you can't get discouraged even when you're playing good offense against a really tough defensive team. You don't get the payoff. We got to anchor ourselves on the defensive side and lean in even more. In those moments where we're just not getting rhythm on offense.
What was missing with the paint defense? I mean, you guys have Gafford and Porzingis protecting the rim, but it seems like paint defense this season has kind of fluctuated for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of it is, they put a lot of pressure on you. And, when you're trying to get the ball out of Mitchell's hands, out of Garland's hands, that roller, you got to account for that. And they got 2 guys who can do it. So it puts a lot of pressure on your lone man, who's oftentimes a small, with both bigs on the floor, one big up, one big involved in pick and rolls quite often. And you're there, you're just not, because their size and they just finish through and over you. But you're getting the ball out of Mitchell's hands, you're getting the ball out of Garland's hands. So, at times it's effective. Obviously, transition, one-on-one, you have to account for that as well.
Wes, to your point about the offense earlier, do you like the mix of shot selection, the mix of drives, and shoot? Obviously, without Brad there, you didn't have as many guys who could.
Yeah. I thought we turned down some open threes early in the game, where that's the best shot we're going to get against that defense. So you create an open shot, you turn it down, now you're driving it back into the teeth of the defense. It kind of plays into their hands a bit. And it's a natural, reaction when you're struggling to make those open ones. You figure, all right, let me get something to the rim. And that's good at times, but that's a really good paint defense, and they got a lot of length back there, so it makes it difficult.
What was the report you got about Brad pregame?
He just wasn't quite ready. Like I said, he went through shoot around, shot afterwards. It didn't look like his normal. He didn't have that normal pop, when he moves and cuts, and I think just give him a little bit more time.
For Johnny, I know, you guys wouldn't put him out there if he's not healthy, but how much do you think he's still just working his way back from the injury he had?
Well, I think he's cleared to, obviously be out there, and sometimes when you miss a chunk of time, it throws off your rhythm a bit. It's not ideal under these circumstances, but you get a chance to play in a NBA game, you got to take full advantage of it. So he looked good to me defensively. I thought he was down the stance, moving his feet. He didn't seem to show any ill effects.
And then just going from the 6-game win streak to now this 3-game skid, I guess just how deflating is that for the team?
I wouldn't say deflating. I mean, obviously no one's happy that, we're in this position. Obviously you lose 2 games in unsavory fashion. But, you're down quite a few guys tonight, and you're up against one of the best defensive teams in the league, so you knew, sledding uphill a bit. Guys came in and who haven't played. Will Barton came in. He impacted the game. Was able to give us some life off the bench. Obviously AG's just coming back. He was able to contribute as Staj, who hasn't been in the rotation as much. So, credit to those guys. I mean, this is not an easy situation. Certainly not ideal. Without Brad and Kuz, and you feel a little limited at times, but it is what it is. So the fact that they could come in and contribute is a positive.
Coach, basketball, ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It's a long season. I guess, what's the message to just turn it around coming in for the Hornets on Wednesday, I'm sorry.
Well, you have an opportunity to bounce back. Hopefully we can get healthy, but, we don't want to dwell too much on, this 3-game skid. We got to learn from it. You want to, of course, take something from it. Sometimes there's the hard lessons, but I think it's important to take something from it and learn. And hopefully that puts us in a better position. But we have a day to get right, practice, get healthy a little bit, and, reload for Wednesday.
You said it before, everybody plays it back to
Head coach Wes Unseld Jr. at the post-game podium. Megan and Christy, he's talking about lessons learned. I learned a lesson tonight watching this game, and correct me if I'm wrong in this one, Megan. I'm coming to you first. This team depends on woo moments. So that's big dunks, big blocks, big threes. when you don't have Kuz and Brad, obviously the lion's share of that's going to be unavailable to you tonight. But adversely, it allows the other team to get those momentum moments. How does this team become successful when they don't have those big moments to carry them throughout the game?
Well, I think when you look at that 6-game win streak and wins throughout this season, it hasn't always been on those big woohoo moments. They've been able to string together possession after possession, and I think that 6-game win streak was really evident of that. Yes, they had those big woohoo moments, especially when you think of that Houston game, because they were in a position much like they were tonight, where you're down, 15, 19, 20-plus points. You're down big in the first half, and you make a swing, and you throw haymaker after haymaker in that second half to chip away and come back. Yes, there's going to be games where you have those big woohoo moments, but we've seen this team consistently in wins not necessarily have to rely on those big woohoo moments. So I would like them to not consistently try to rely on those big woohoo moments, because that's not the way you play the game of basketball. You play it for 48 minutes, you play it with integrity and effort, and you do it possession by possession. You can't just rely on those big swings and those big haymakers to fall every single night, because we're now starting to see that when you need them and they're not falling, you're not going to always get them. So you've got to adjust. You've got to make adjustments. Christy knows this as a player and as a coach. When those big moments aren't coming, what are your adjustments going to be? And I love that Coach Unseld said we have to learn something from these losses. But my question is, what are you learning? What are these 15 guys in the locker room learning? What is the coaching staff learning that they can take and make the adjustments on the floor?
Well, they need to strap on defense. That's what it is. I mean, Cleveland shot 56% from the floor, and the resistance wasn't there up the line, right? I mean, that's where it needed to be, especially with the size that Cleveland possesses on the interior. So for me, it's always going to start with defense. I love offense, and I love the woohoo moments. Trust and believe. I knock into Wes. And Megan, you know this. I knock into you too. But when you understand that it's not just those big moments, it's the little moments that lead up to it, right? You have to have the singles and not always the home run plays. And that's on offense and defense. It's not just on offense that you're not going to take a stop and pop shot without moving the ball from side to side at least one time, right? So defensively, you've got to lock in and get the job done on the defensive side and not allow the same thing that Cleveland just did in the previous possession to happen again. So the adjustments aren't necessarily for practice, but the adjustments are possession by possession on the defensive end to begin with, and then the energy and the effort and everything is that much easier, because now you've focused on one thing that will help you get the ball, that will stop the other team from scoring. Now you can go down. You know you can score the ball regardless of who's healthy or not. Like, you have professional players on the floor, so they know what to do. And the chemistry piece, as we alluded to, that's tough, and I get it. They're different faces in different spaces. I get it. But at the same time, you know how to play. You know how to play on the defensive end. You know that that's what it's going to take. So the change occurs and the learning occurs on the defensive end first. And you have to start there. You have to start there. I don't care who's coming in on Wednesday. And I know it's Charlotte. I don't care who's coming in. It's the next play. It's not about who you're playing. It's how you're playing. I always say that too. It matters how you're playing on the defensive end, most importantly now for Washington. Let's see what the defensive energy looks like in practice and moving forward to Wednesday's game against Charlotte.
Wednesday's game against Charlotte is going to be a test. Megan, don't move. I want to remind everybody right now, taking a look at our bold prediction. Brought to you by Greenberg and Betterman. Go to gblawyers.com and feel good. Look, Corey Kispert making exactly 4 threes tonight. Yeah. See the results right there.
Oh, boy.
But these bold predictions, again, brought to you by Greenberg and Betterman. gblawyers.com and feel better. Back with more post-game. Remember the adage, District of Champions is part of that NBA 2K League, exactly why we call it such. Well, earlier tonight, Megan McPeak had a chance to not only catch up with the president of the 2K League, but also with Zach Leonsis about the exciting celebration of this moment in monumental sports and entertainment.
Welcome back. As we told you last week, the 2023 season will be here before you know it. March 8th, it tips off for NBA 2K League. I'm happy to be joined by Zach Leonsis, president of New Media and Enterprises, along with the NBA 2K president, Brendan Donahue, and with District E being right here in the nation's capital. Brendan, I'll start with you. What does it mean with this partnership, not only with Monumental Sports and Entertainment, but the 2023 season being hosted in the nation's capital?
Yeah, we couldn't be more thrilled. I mean, number one, DC is a great city, and then to boot, we are with one of our most innovative teams that has a brand new state-of-the-art facility in District E. It's a perfect marriage.
And Zach, when it comes to the fan experience, because this has been a brainchild that you've been working on for a few months now, and it's finally coming to fruition just weeks away from debuting. What can fans experience, not only from the District E area, but as well, too, from this season?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people have heard about esports, but they've never seen it come to life and in person. We've really, haven't held back any budget. We've really built a world-class facility that I think when people leave a Wizards or a Capitals game and they experience esports for the first time is going to blow them away. The LED experience, the energy of 2K, particularly the trash talk that I think a lot of our teams go back and forth, it's a lot of fun. This will be a great place to do a pre-game and post-game activation before or after Caps and Wizards games.
And Brendan, when it comes to this season, I know there's $2.5 million in cash prizes on the line, but what is something new that fans can experience that they haven't seen in the previous seasons?
I would say if they make it out of District D, they will not be disappointed. It'll be as loud as this place in here. Promise. All the trash talk, the fun, it'll be a blast. Come check it out. March 8th.
Now, Zach, I have to ask about the Wizards District Gaming. They are two-time champions, and now they're hosting it on home soil. Can we make it three-time champions?
I would love that. Listen, we want to win in everything we do. I'd love for our guys to come back tonight, obviously, first and foremost. But we do want to try to go for a third. We won twice. We came so close again in the finals last year. We're coming back with a brand new roster. Let's see what we can do.
I'm super excited to see that. I'm going to get everybody ready for our FanDuel Best Bets tonight. Taking a look back at the night. Coming into it, of course, brought to you by FanDuel, where you make every moment more. If you were to come in the night and said Monte Morris is going to have 6 or more assists, that's at plus 175, a $10 bet. Would have won you $17.50. And Monte Morris 2 or more threes, plus 135, a $10 bet would have won you $13.50.
There you go.
And look, we were talking about this during pregame. The absence of Brad and Kuz meant that others would have to step up in the three-point shooting. Now, overall, the team, we know 21% not what we want. However, Christy, to your point,
yes,
Monte Morris did what a point guard should do. Tried to help his team in any way he possibly could.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have the ball in your hands, you're serving, you're the decision maker, you're the conductor of the orchestra, right? So Monte Morris did a fantastic job. He had 7 assists tonight, did have those 2 turnovers, but I just thought that he was phenomenal with his floor game. His decision making for his own offense. Yes, he is a facilitator, but he can facilitate for himself as well. He knows where to go, what to do. He knocked in his threes, but he was sizing up the defense. He was getting to the elbow area, pulling up for shots. He had his float game going as well. So I think when he's aggressive in terms of looking for not only everyone else to set up, but when he's aggressive at setting himself up, I think that the team is better for it. But I love to see Monte Morris staying aggressive with his offensive decision making, because he's right on point. He's a point guard, like you said, but he is right where he's supposed to be when he is that aggressive-minded and initiating his own offense.
Well, you speak about the point guard of the point guard. Megan, you're a former point guard yourself, and so when I ask about Monte Morris, I think about pace and control. What adjustments do you see that he can make going into Charlotte, whether we know who's going to be available or not?
Well, the thing about Charlotte, they're similar in the fact that they have a very athletic team, much like Cleveland. So I want to see him just push the pace. Like, push the pace as much as you can. Put the defense on their heels. Don't allow them to get set up. As soon as the Cavs were able to get set up in the half court, they had an advantage, because then you utilize your length, your size, your wingspans, and you can pack the paint. And I thought that's what they did a lot when the Wizards decided to slow things down or not try to take advantage in transition. I want to see Monte Morris try to utilize his quickness and try to push the pace. Even if it means you just push it to get over half, you don't necessarily have anything, you bring it back out and you run through your sets. But the more you can put the defense on your heels, I think the more it actually works in favor for Washington.
Megan, to your point, you know who would appreciate an acceleration of pace? A guy with the nickname Turbo. Yeah, we're going to be talking Denny Avdia on the other side of Wizards Postgame Live. But here's a tweet. Wizards forward Denny Avdia has reached 1,000 rebounds for his career. He becomes the second Israeli-born player in NBA history to reach 1,000 career rebounds. Shout out to Turbo. More Postgame Live back in a moment. Hey, Christy, it's Postgame Live. Let's get to the film room and talk a little unicorn, if you don't mind.
Let's get into it. Kristaps Porzingis, you're going to see him trying to size up the defense. He's right there on the left block. He's saying, move the ball right here so I can get the angle for the pass. He gets the pass. Now, watch the spacing that Washington has on the offensive end. It's almost like a 5-out, but it's 4 overloaded to the right side. Kristaps gives you the up fake and brings it back down and pulls the elbow jumper wide open. Makes it easy for himself. Didn't have to put it on the deck. On the other side, defensively, he's highlighted there for a reason. He has the ball right here. He located it prior to the catch, so the timing of the block was phenomenal. Met him right there at the rim. Great defense by KP. And then right here, he's going to get a little handoff action with none. And now he's going to follow him up, which is a smart thing to do because his defender committed to the ball. And although it wasn't a clean catch, he was able to utilize his size on the mismatch and get the and one for the Washington Wizards at 7-3. Kristaps Porzingis has an advantage at all times. You saw him giving that head and shoulder fake. I do that sometimes with my kids because they're so tall. Gonna block my shot. But no one's gonna block Kristaps Porzingis. He's 7'3", and he can put it on the ground and go, so he's keeping the defense honest.
Megan, to her point, tonight was one of those few times where he's actually got a couple people he could look eye to eye. What adjustments does he have to make for Charlotte?
Well, aside from the I want to see more of that, just so Christy can say that. But no, the one thing about KP is he's going to be an ultimate professional, win, lose, or draw. And I imagine, this is frustrating for him when, you have a pretty decent game and you still don't get the W. But he's always going to keep it 100, and that's the one thing I've grown to like about him and respect him is no matter how good or bad he may play, he's going to be very, very honest and very candid when it comes to his assessment of the game and what happened. But for him to, continue his scoring prowess against Charlotte, this is where he has an advantage. Plumlee can't. Let's be real. Plumlee might be strong, but he can't bang with KB inside. He can't contest the shot the way Mobley and Allen can. I just want to see him continue to take advantage of his size and his high release point, period.
Megan, you speak of the candid conversations from Kristaps Porzingis. Try saying that 3 times fast without stumbling. Well, here he is in the post-game locker room, to your point.
I think our energy from the beginning was a little bit we were trying to ease our way into the game, but these guys came to play right away, and yeah, they were the first ones to punch us, and then even as the game kept going on, I was trying to hide it, but I was getting a little bit frustrated because I just didn't feel the urgency from us, and especially playing at home, we were down 20 at half. Like something has to happen. We have to make a physical play. We have to try to change the energy of the game. I felt like we just didn't have it tonight, and it's a little bit frustrating to put this kind of a game in front of our fans, but I look forward to our next game, and we have to protect home court and give our fans a better game.
Kristaps Porzingis looking forward to the next game in front of the home crowd, and so am I. That will be Wednesday against the Charlotte Hornets. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and get you ready for that matchup against the guys from the Queen City. Post-game live back in a moment on NBC Sports Washington. Looking on the Charlotte Hornets, game number 2 in this 3-game home stretch before we head back out west to take on the Warriors, Portland Trailblazers, and an additional team. I'm not being secret squirrel, I'm just telling you that's what's happening. I just wanted to stall you out before we got right here. Something I know you want to pay attention to. Remember that Detroit game that was and then was not? Well, the NBA has officially released the adjustment to the schedule. So now, look at right here. Tuesday, March 7th at Detroit. Now, what happened was the Milwaukee game that was originally scheduled for Monday, March 6th has now been moved to Sunday, March 5th. And again, you see at the bottom of the screen, originally scheduled for Wednesday, February 1st is the Detroit Pistons game, now moved to March 7th. So with that in mind, Megan, I will start with you first. Charlotte, we're going to need that win and every win after that. How do we make the adjustment for the Queen City matchup first?
I think you've seen this team before, so you have the familiarity. You know the scouting report. You're familiar with them. You haven't seen them in a while, but you are familiar with them. You know how you've beaten them in the past. Yes, you had some of your big 3 available. However, this is where you make the adjustments. This is where you get more effort. This is where you call out guys and ask them to be ready and be prepared. As KP said, swing first, throw that first punch.
Christy, the same thing goes to you, knowing, like I said, with that schedule, that other game, that's Minnesota, the Timberwolves. So obviously some daunting challenges along the way. How do they get it done?
Well, they have to utilize the frustration from this game. You heard Kristaps Porzingis say that, hey, out of the gates, we were frustrated. We got punched first. We can't let that happen. So put that log in the fire. Use that fire to start the game off like you know how to do on the defensive end.
That's what I want to hear. That intensity from start to finish. We want a full 48 minutes, and we're going to get another crack at it Wednesday when the Charlottes come to town. On behalf of our great Stu, crew, and staff here at NBC Sports Washington, for Megan McPeak, Christy Winterscott, I am Wes Hall. Enjoy your evening. We will see you on Wednesday for Wizards Hornets on NBC Sports Washington.